Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on our webinar. My name is Alex. I'm presenting on behalf of group number 2, which is composed of Neha, Prashant, Varen, and myself. And today we are going to be going over our research on the UTD dining services. So from a high-level overview, what we're going to take you through is our problem definition, how we conducted our research, some basic exploratory insights, more advanced data analysis, and how we used all of those things to tailor our recommendations. So this project was designed to investigate how well the current dining services food options meet the needs of the student body, with a specific focus on vegetarian and vegan students. As you're aware, we have a very diverse population here, with a lot of international students and consequently a lot of diverse diets, and we want to make sure the dietary needs of all of the students are being met. Then we want to find out if the demand for vegetarian and vegan options is present in the student population, and whether or not this demand is currently being met by the UT Dallas dining services. Finally, we want to figure out what are the factors that prevent and promote adoption for vegetarian diets in order to fine-tune our recommendations. This analysis has benefits in multiple ways. The first way is it ensures that the dietary needs of all the students is being met. And the second benefit is that for the UT Dallas dining services, we project an increased number of users and subsequently sales due to the easy availability of high quality food for all students. So the way we kind of structured our research design is we focused specifically on students enrolled in the spring 2017 semester, which included bachelor's students, master's students, or PhD students. We used a variety of sampling techniques, including systematic, random, and convenience sampling. And in order to kind of narrow down our focus and really decide what we were going to be researching, we used a pretest and revised our questionnaire and study accordingly. In the end, 150 students were contacted and about 35 responded, and we used Qualtrics to hold all of the responses and host the questionnaire. Some limitations that we encountered in our data was the self-selection bias and the non-response bias, because students have pretty strong opinions about this topic. And then we also had our fair share of incomplete responses, which we needed to take account for. So just looking at our respondent demographics, we can kind of see a wide variety of a wide range of ages here, going from 18 to 40, with a little bit of skewness towards 21 and 26. We also see a large proportion of international students. It's a bit higher than the UTD student population. The reason this doesn't actually harm us that much is because we're going to be using the insights of a diverse student group to tailor and recommend our suggestions to the dining services. So we asked all of our respondents what your dietary preference was. About 80% of them said they were omnivores, and the rest said that they were either vegetarian or vegan. And this is actually a proportion that's about 3 to 4 times the national average. So it's a significant flag that the demand for vegetarian-based meals might be high. Then we kind of looked and asked people, what criteria do you use to select your meals, and how important is that criteria? And from that analysis, 2 groups began to emerge. One group is kind of concerned with environment and ethical considerations, and the other one is more concerned with nutritional content and food taste. So we then asked respondents if they felt that dining services had a lot of options for their dietary restrictions and whether or not they were satisfied with those options. At this point, we're beginning to see a pattern of about 20 to 30% of students who are consistently indicating their preferences for minority diets and dissatisfaction with the current dining services options. Later in our data analysis, we'll try to see if this is a coherent group or if the opinions are distributed among different respondents. So, when asked how frequently and which meals respondents ate most often, the majority of respondents, about 67%, said that they actually didn't eat at UT Dallas dining services. It's possible that this proportion of respondents is not using the dining services because of personal preferences, lack of access, or other reasons. The key component in our research is to find out if they are not eating due to their dietary needs being unaddressed. In the case that we recommend the dining services to adopt a meat-free offering, we'd like to gauge how omnivores and other groups will consume the new products. The statistics above, shown on the right, show an early indication that the demand for meat-free meals is present outside of obvious groups such as those who are vegetarian or vegan. We know there are vegetarian related trends that impact omnivores like meat-free Mondays, and that might be creating a type of dietary demand or want for omnivores. So in this slide, what we're showing you is the amount of dieting services options that omnivores have and vegetarians have. You can tell the big spike in blue shows that vegetarians and vegans feel like they do not have a lot of options. They disagree with the fact that there are a lot of options, while omnivores tend to agree that there are a lot of options. Not pictured here is the international student population, which we use to kind of format our research. And we found out that they are actually very dissatisfied with the UT Dallas dining services. The general conclusion here is that the UT Dallas dining services do not fulfill the dietary needs of the most diverse populations of UT Dallas students, specifically vegetarian students. In the previous slides, we just concluded that UT Dallas dining services are not adequately addressing dietary needs. Our hypothesis is that a vegetarian or vegan offering will provide more options that are satisfactory for the population. In order for this conclusion to be validated, we need to measure the demand for this offering and analyze how it applies. So we created a demand variable which represented if a respondent is likely to buy a vegetarian-based meat substitute, or a low demand group if they are not. Then we compared these demand groups with the question, I have a lot of options that address my dietary restrictions. And the insights are pretty clear. The UT Dallas dining services are not addressing the needs of high demand customers, or in other words, they are not addressing the needs of people who want to have vegetarian based meat substitutes or vegetarian meals offered in the dining services. So finally, we want to be able to predict the demand for future students, and the way we did that is through tying in demographics with their ability to predict if they will represent high demand or low demand customers. The one significant variable out of gender, living location, age, country of origin, and other factors that impacted this was age. So in effect, the higher the age, the more likely they will be classified as low demand, and vice versa. If they're lower in age, the more likely they represent high demand. And this trend kind of lines up with other studies which indicate that veganism and vegetarianism is on the rise. And this is important information because it confirms countrywide trends are being experienced in UT Dallas, and it will become more important year after year to address the dietary needs of younger populations. So since we've concluded that dietary needs are not being met, and that there's a demand for vegetarian meals, we want to be able to advise the dining services to come up with a satisfactory meal offering. We use discriminant analysis to find out what factors are more or less important for those who are representing the demand. We figured out that the people who are in demand for vegetarian meals are less concerned with price and taste than your average UTD student. But like most UTD students, they are concerned with the nutritional value in their meals. So based on our research, we would like to make the following recommendations to the UT Dallas dining services in order to enable them to better meet the needs and demands of the UT Dallas student population. Number one, we encourage the dining services to create a vegetarian offering for the student body. Number two, we have specifically analyzed who will purchase the product and what they would like to see in such an offering. It should be made with considerations of high nutritional quality over price and taste. Number three, we have demonstrated how vegetarian and vegan trends have affected UTD and the younger population. If the trend continues, we recommend an increase in the vegetarian and vegan offerings year over year. I want to thank everyone for watching, and we hope that you have found our insights valuable and implementable. Thank you.